Welcome! In this video, we continue on with Chapter 5 of The Haunting of Dale in the Lord of the Rings Journeys in Middle-earth. So down at the table, Chapter 5, looks like we've got the Warrior's Tomb coming on. Moving down just outside of Dale. See, King Bane introduces you to one of Dale's most prestigious historians. Your Highness, honored guest, she begins, I have a theory that the cause of our current misfortunes may be something from the past. This is a collection of letters between my grandmother's grandmother and her sister. It mentions rumors of a shade. People at the time believed it was a curse laid on them from a warrior that once tried to conquer Dale. Apparently, sightings began shortly after this warrior was killed in battle here. The warrior was buried in a cave out in the farmlands. I believe it is worth your time to investigate. The next adventure will be a journey map. This scenario contains some mystery. Players will need to use inductive reasoning to win. So we're already at a disadvantage. Or at least I am. So we'll confirm. See, we got some items here that we can upgrade. Looks like everything. Ring mail. Our battle axe, cloak, and great bow. So our options with the ring mail, this is what we currently have. We've got one that still decreases our agility, but it increases our fear limit by 1, which is always good. We've got the same thing there with the test and the twice wrought. When you suffer damage after resolving all damage from a single source, gain an inspiration. And we still have this, so I think that's going to help. We can either help our agility or our fear, and I think we're going to go help our agility to keep that up to 2. So we'll go with the Trice Wrought. So we'll click on that and confirm. And then our Battle Axe. Alright, with their battle axe, this is what we've had. So 1 success, 2 hits and sunder, 2, 6 hits. So this gives us more options. So 2 hits and sunder, or 3 hits, and the 6 hits. Or cleave, increase your inspiration limit by 1. I like the additional options. We're going with the Iron Heels. And confirm. Then for Legolas in his cloak, 3 choices. Alright, so the regular cloak, before we suffer, we can spend an inspiration to prevent. So we've got that, and after setup, become hidden. Or before you suffer, you may prevent one of that. Oh, face down. And this one we can team up with our bow to have another option to do more hits. Which doesn't seem bad. And I think we're going to go with the Fanghorn. And then our bow. Alright, so a regular bow was with 1 success, 2 hits, 2 successes, 5 hits. Here we add 1 for 3, 1 for 3, and pierce. And after you defeat an enemy group, scout 1. Or 2 hits, 5 hits, and cleave. I think that's the one we want. We're going to go with the cleaving. So that was the Mirkwood. And the circlet. So we can upgrade that so it still increases our inspiration. We perform an agility test. You may deplete this item to prepare a card. So we've got 2 instead of 1 for depletion tokens. Okay, so we're done with that. XP, we're just going to keep it there. Staying with the Guardian and Hunter. So with the Guardian, he starts with the You Cannot Pass. And Legolas gets the Resourceful, so starting with an Inspiration. And Embarking. All right, so placing some tiles. We'll see how this sets up. So 300B. Starting down here. You're ready to venture from the city of Dale into the surrounding farmlands to find the tomb. But which way should you go? Place heroes as indicated. So we start in this spot. Cluster of golden white flowers blooms in a shaft of sunlight. Get a search token there. Till now you pursued the shade on its terms, chasing after rumors of its schemes. Now you may finally have a lead that will help you get ahead of this aberration. Each hero gains an inspiration. So one for Gimli, one more for Legolas. The exact location of the tomb is unclear, but the historian has scoured the city's sparse archives and compiled a list of references she believed could lead you to the warrior's final resting place. Frankly, some of these references were old even before the dragon came. You'll need to look around to find some of these landmarks or find evidence of where they once were anyway. A little too old to be traipsing around the countryside, so I'll have to leave that to you. She hands you her notes. Take the body of the Slayer out of the city tonight. Know as soon as you're done reading this, bring some guards. The rumors that the warrior uttered a dark curse has people terrified. Get that body buried. There's plenty of caves you can turn to the purpose. Inscribe a few words to keep the spirits at rest and block up the entrance. The sooner we're done with this business, the better. Hyde says she saw a procession of guards carting the leader's body out the countryside. My bet they took a pine way or went by the Rose Gate. There's few ways out of the city, but those lead the furthest out and are the least watched. My youngest got an awful fright last week. He said he saw a walking shadow out by old woman Josephine's place. I told him, well, Tom, you weren't supposed to be out in the Steric. It's too far. I hope you learned your lesson. Fellows at the tavern say they buried the warrior out by Witch's Tangle, hogwash. I patrolled the Rose Gate Road the night after the final battle and didn't see no one. The historian gestures to what you've just read. Once I knew what to look for, these stood out to me. I know it'd be tempting to leap to a conclusion the first time you find something that might match up with one of these notes, but history is rarely that simple. Who knows how many things today sound like they could reference one of these exact things. Take your time to look and consider every detail. If you can compare the historian's note with the surrounding countryside, you should be able to find the forgotten tomb. There are many possible locations, but only one holds the answers you seek. Each hero scouts two. Objectives updated. Find the tomb using the historic references. Historian's notes may be reviewed in the Chronicle. So for Gimli, we will scout 2. Ready to fence. We will ready that and put that on the bottom. And then Legolas. It'll fall over. Let's see. Tireless or unyielding spirit. We'll put tireless up. And that on the bottom. All right, 202A. So moving Refreshing our map. And exploration, 203B. And place that. And we're going to zoom out. All right, 225A, 102A, 103. How does that fit there? Like that, I think. All right, no problem, right? Okay, still not done. 206. $201. Well, I hope that's about it. Nope, 224. That'll fit there. Fingers crossed. Hey, action phase. All right, I think most of it's on screen. I'm going to go ahead and move these over where I'll be using them. And we're going to go ahead and have Legolas spin one for his ability to, once per round during your turn, you may spend an inspiration to move a space without provoking attacks. He'll move up here, which means we get to explore that. Winding track leads through a corpse of ancient trees and a dilapidated hovel, apparently abandoned. Slumps nearby, discard and gain that inspiration. Got a search token. There are many ways out of Dale. You must get your bearings to know which direction to seek the tomb. Book with a thick gray binding has been discarded on the ground. Our journey continues. Well, we're going to start searching right there. Getting our bearings. Searching the area and talking to some of Dale folk who live in the countryside, you learn of a road that leads out of the area and into the nearby wilderness. Locals call it the Pining Way because of a long-standing legend that two star-crossed lovers once walked it. Could this be the Pine Way of old? Lore increases by 1. Gain an inspiration. You may continue down this road. Continue down this road will lead you further into the countryside of Dale. Sure. $205B. If that's going to help us or not. 227. Yeah, I know that's going off camera. Don't think I have much choice. All right, continue. We're just going to move and end his turn. Gimli will go here and look at that. Some white flowers. Run your hand through the flowers, feeling their sweet perfume surround you. Test our wisdom, which is 2. We did not pass. They are pleasant enough. And then we're just going to keep on moving and explore. Between 2 small hillocks, a deep hole leads into an unseen underground cavern. Discard that and gain an inspiration. Tangle thick bushes looms here. And there are many ways out of Dale. You must get your bearings to know which direction to seek a tomb. All right. I'm going to cancel that. Chronicle. So just trying to see what all we read here. Farmlands to find a tomb. Let's see. So Pineway or Rosegate. A walking shadow. Okay. So we don't have a clue. We're just walking around. Lovely. All right, done with our turn. We're very inspired. Threat increases. We shall rally and scout 2. So this is Gimli. Fury and kinship. We will prep that and put Fury on the bottom. And Legolas. Time of need. We'll prep the spirit and put that on the bottom. So action phase. Let's start with Gimli. Start the movement. I think that's the one we wanted to see. Searching the area and talking to some of the Dale folk who live in the countryside. You learn of a road that leads out of the area into the nearby wilderness. It's marked with an old trellis over which roses grow. Could this be the Rose Gate of old? Gain an inspiration. May continue down this road. All right, 220A. And I think that's going to mess everything up here. (101B). sit like that. $303. Okay. So we've got one more movement left. I feel like going north. Fruit trees, let's see. Dot the landscape, and some past architects saw fit to build a staircase down the hill to the river. Gain the inspiration, but we're maxed out. A bright field of bluebells leads to the entrance of a cave. This is one of the caves that could be the warrior's final resting place. Place a search token. And then a pool of still water lies here. And then Legolas is, where is he? He's right there. Got a book with thick gray binding. We will search the book. Find it's quite heavy. Try through you might. You can't seem to open it. So testing wit, and we have a wit of 3. We need 2 to succeed, and there we go. You don't think it's a good idea to force open a mysterious book. You've heard plenty of tales about terrible curses befalling those who are unwise enough to do such things. Gain 2 inspiration, or in this case 1. Then discard the search token. Then we're going to spend 1 for our free movement. And we'll head this direction. Let's see. And I'll bump the camera a little. Old wood cast solemn hues over an older grave. We'll gain that. White and yellow star-shaped flowers grow out of rocks that surround the entrance to a subterranean cave. This is one of the caves that could be the warrior's final resting space. So we've got a cave there. I'm sure it's going to be a cave that's close to us, right? So we did a free movement, so now we're going to search in that cave. Mouth of the cave is dark, and an unnatural chill flows from it. If you're an elf, we get to add a success. Hey, we're an elf. Now we're testing spirit. We have a spirit of 2, but we also have an unyielding spirit if needed. So we already have 1 success. And we'll make it a total of 3. Cave's obstacles are not overcome so easily. Bummer. All right, I think that ends our turn. Each hero gains an inspiration. Threat increases. Rally phase. And scouting 2. Let's see, final defense. We're going to put that on top and prep Undying Might. And for Legolas, Scouting 2. We've got wit and agility. We will prep the wit. All right, moving on. We already know he's got caves there. We're going to test our agility, which is 2 again. And we get an auto success. We're going to spin 2, so that's going to be a total of 4. Press onward into the cave, prepared for whatever may come. Discard the search token. $309B. I'm not prepared for it to go that far off the table. But trust me, it goes that way. And exploration. So use 1 action to search. We'll start moving. So our first movement. Small dock juts out into the water with an old barn nearby. Young girl in dainty dress squints at an upside-down book of fairy tales. Place a person token. And we'll go ahead and stop there. And for Gimli, we're going to move. And, oh, that's the pool of water. Is that the cave where we were at? Thought we found a cave. Oh, yes. We won't move. We'll just search there. Some of the large rocks that once blocked this cave's entrance have fallen away, leaving a small gap may be able to get through. Test agility. If you're a hobbit, we get to add 1. Well, we're not a hobbit. Our agility is 2. And we have 2 successes and nothing to boost that. Oops. Put that back up on top and go from the right stack. We have 1 success and nothing to boost that. And our second action, since we didn't really move, searching again, testing agility. We'll make it 3. Not so overcome. Well, that's going to be your turn. Shadow phase. Gain some inspiration. Threat increases. Rally phase. And scouting 2. With Gimli, and of course his inspiration. We're probably going to need that agility. Put the fury on the bottom. We'll swap that out. It goes to our discard. here, precise strike, we'll put that on top, and weakness on the bottom. And go to actions. We'll start with Gimli again. Searching old and hard. All right. We will make this 3 successes. All right, that's enough to get us in. So 307B. And I think I'm just going to move these out of the way. Yep. That hooks up, and we bump the camera. There we go. So he searched twice, and he's done. I know we started with Gimli, so he's still got 2 actions. Okay. He will talk to the girl about fairy tales. She blinks at you. My papa reads these to me. I like the ones about dragons. She looks at the book, then back to you. Will you read to me? She proffers the book, and you notice it's written in a language you do not recognize. You can't possibly read the book to her, but you might make up a story for her instead. He's feeling nice today. Once upon a time. Quickly realize you're not sure where to go from here. There was a red dragon. You decide what to call her off the top of your head. Her name was Rena. No, it wasn't. The girl interrupts. It was Maeve. She nods her approval and waits for the next part of the story. Where did you leave off? Right. There was a red dragon named Maeve that wielded a magic sword. Girl leans in with a grin. Great, but the story needs conflict. But then a blue dragon attacked. Girl clapped twice. What next? Now what does the red dragon do after the blue dragon attacked? Fought him bravely. The sharp intake of breath from your listener. Best to wrap it up here. And she defeated her enemy. She lived happily ever after until the end of her days. Little girl jumps up, clutching the book. I loved it when Maeve, and then she, and there were dragons. It was perfect. Thank you. Gaining inspiration. You gain the storyteller title. And we'll give that to Legolas. And he's just going to discard that. And start movement. 1, 2. Confirm. Something that used to be built here has fallen to ruin. Pillars of stone worn into the ridges by the moisture dripping from the cave ceiling. We will discard that. Skeleton lies on an inscribed stone slab, a rust and broken crown at its head. Could these be earthly remains of the shade that threatens Dale? Place a search token as indicated. Investigate the tomb. Our journey continues. after we end the action phase. Into the shadow phase we go, gaining inspiration for Gimli. Oops, got all this off screen. That is what Legolas has, along with some of his cards. Darkness. All right, Legolas is in darkness, so Spirit will negate. So 1 success and 2 successes, so he's good. Threat increases. Shade is not the only threat, though you suspect the unrest it has caused draws other evils to Dale. So you place a soldier. And now we rally. Scouting 2. See if I can find a better spot to sit this. That might work. All right, Precise Strike and Light-Footed. We'll put both of those on top. Oh. Gimli gets a Scout too. Honed Agility and Unyielding Spirit. He will prep Honed Agility. And put the other on the bottom. Okay, we will start with Legolas. He's going to spin 1 for free movement. And then interact. Searching. As you approach the slab, the pickle of goosebumps spreads across your arms, be it from the cold, the dark, or the skeleton. Card words in the style of the olden days of Dale wrap around the slab. We need to test our wisdom, which is 3 for Legolas. So 1, 2, 3. I think we'll take that. 3 successes. All right, the grave's markings are straightforward. Here lies Ursa, Slayer, the king and enemy of Dale. Rest now, violence, and bring suffering no more. Dale has withstood. Each hero gains an inspiration. Then discard the search token. Chill Presence forces you to whip around. There, Spectral Warrior, the Shade, watches you. So my mark on Dale's history is not buried as deeply as my bones. Are you Dale's defenders then? Her powerful voice echoes off the cavern walls. She sounds pleased. Place Ursa as indicated. Well, I cannot find Ursa, so that miniature is going to have to do. Ursa smirks and steps forward, leaving a shadowed silhouette of her figure standing behind her. Let us see what Dale's best have to offer. She hefts her warhammer. The dark duplicate mirrors her movements. Place a shadow man as indicated. Found one of them. Alright, at last the identity of Dale's foe is revealed to you, but your work is not yet done. Ursa and her shadow duplicates lunge toward you. Warhammer's rising and you have only moments to defend yourself. Choose a hero to gain the Nemesis title and place it in their discard. Final objective is to defeat Ursa. Well, that sucks for Gimli. The fight way over there and him hiding over here. We will choose Legolas. When a nearby elite enemy activates, you may remove the skill from the adventure to become emboldened. If you do, that enemy cannot move or attack during its activation. And that goes into the discard pile, confirming that. Alright, and this is where Legolas dies. So, Gimli will move and move. We are all done. Each hero gets inspired. Alright. Wants to move to attack Legolas, can't reach, but can move to and reach Gimli. So attacking. Fighting a combatant with a polearm forces you choose between stepping in close to entangle the reach or staying at a distance to better react to their movements. Need to test our wit. And Gimli's wit is 2. Let's see, before this attack, each hero in a space with a soldier enemy group suffers 1. Okay, seems like we're going to be needing this. Alright, Crush. Deplete one of your without resolving its effect. Then flip this card face down. So that goes on Gimli. That means we'll take one off of his circlet. And now, let's see, he's testing the wit, which was 2. We'll use that, and he's got his ready defense. When you test a negate, we get a success. That is prep to him, so he's good with that. Ursa wants to move 3, ignoring terrain and black borders, attack the Legolas. Definitely safe up there doing that. Feel the chill of grave all around, leeching the hope out of your heart. Agility negates. After this attack, flip 2. Fear face up, then move Ursa to the closest space without a hero. He's only got 2 to negate. He's got 1 success. He will spend 1 for another success, getting 2. And then we can spend 1 with our cloak to prevent another. So we're negating 3 out of 6. So what we're going to do is prevent 3 of the fear. So we only take 1 fear. Flip this card face down, and after this attack we flip it back up, but it doesn't do anything. But he's taking the 2 damage. Keep this card face up. When you perform the travel action, move 1 fewer space. After you rest, flip this card face down. And the second is wariness. Flip that face down. All right. And then that guy wants to attack Gimli, but he's not close enough, so he's going to attack Legolas instead. Foe is ghastly to behold and fights with unflagging discipline. Agility, spirit negates, which is 2. Once again, not his strong suit. So we can spin 2, and with our cloak, prevent 3, but we're going to take 1. And we're going to take the fear. And that's just gloom. So he's got 2 fear and 2 damage on him. Darkness, oh, that's not good. So once again, spirit. And he's got nothing to stop that. So that's going to be 2 more fear, taking him up to 4. Impending Doom, discard 1 prepped card or suffer another. Well, that's going to be discarding a prepped card. That's going to be his wit. And his 4th is just gloom. So that's what his board looks like now. It's got 2 damage and 4 fear on him. Threat increases, of course it will. Rally phase. This is where we feel better. Scout 2. All right. Strike 3 during your turn. You may remove the skill from the adventure for 2 heroes to gain inspiration equal to their inspiration limits. Yep, we'll prep that and put this on top. And for Gimli, Dying Might and a Poet's Heart. We're going to put Undying Might on the bottom. And with his stack of goodies, we are going to discard Kinship for the Poet's Heart. And go into the action phase. We will start, well, we'll start with Gimli. So he's down there with this soldier guy. And he's going to attack with his Iron Hills Battle Axe. So that is going to be a might of 4. Let me make sure I don't have anything else. We have 1 success. In order to... We need 7 damage to kill this thing. So basically we need 3 successes. So we'll spin 2. We've got the 1 auto, so we get the 6 plus the 3. That's going to be 9 hits. And then we're going to use his ability. After you perform an attack test, you may place 1 card from the test on top of your deck. We'll put that on top. We did 9 hits. And apply. All right, removing the soldier. Gaining an inspiration. And then moving 2. All right, and then for Legolas, he is going to be a storyteller. During your turn, you may remove the skill from the adventure for 2 heroes to gain inspiration equal to their inspiration limits. He's going to choose himself and Gimli. So he will gain 5. And Gimli gets 2. Then he's going to use his special ability to move 1 space without provoking. And move 1 fewer space after you rest. We can flip this card. So his move action only moves 1. So then he's going to do 2 travels. 1, 2. And let's see here. At the end of your turn, you may discard the skill to gain an inspiration or scout 1. We're going to scout 1 with that. And we'll put that up here. Also, at the end of your turn, if you move 3 or more spaces this turn, we gain an inspiration. We moved 1, 2, 3. And that's all we've got. All right, Shadow Phase. Each hero gains an inspiration. We're both maxed out. This guy wants to move 3. We're looking for Legolas. That's not going to go well for him. One, 2, 3. Found him. All right, attacking. Oh, goodness. Might. All right, she hefts her hammer with both hands, creating a 4 more powerful blow. Might negates. We have a might of 2. For this attack, discard all boons and move Ursa to the closest space without a hero. Don't know if I did that last time, but she would have still ended up in the same spot, going to the nearby. All right, so I can negate 1. Which we will. And then Gimli has 2 cards prepped. You can use guard for nearby heroes in addition to heroes in your space. So he's going to guard 5 for the remainder of that. Okay, the Nat wants to move 1. Not going to be able to attack, so no target. Spectre strides through the air, never truly touching the ground. Move 2 spaces towards the closest hero, ignoring terrain. So 1, 2. All right, darkness. No one's in darkness. Shadow deepens. Threat increases by 4. Rally phase, also known as near-death phase. So Gimli, scouting 2. Unyielding spirit and clever wit. He'll keep the wit, I guess. And put spirit on the bottom. And Legolas. Who is not feeling too well. Alright, Keen Eyes. Your attacks can target enemies 1 additional space away. That's a keeper. And Hunted goes on the bottom. Continue. Alright, action phase. Legolas. uses his ability to move. And he can move or shoot to, good grief, 21. Go after the Shadow Man, maybe. He's going to need 9 to kill it. Got 2 attack turns to do it, so yeah, that's what he's going to do. So we can team these up. And our agility is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And of course, no successes. So we can spin 3, which will get us 7 hits. We need 9 to kill it. So we can spin these 3, which will give us 7 with cleave plus that. Cleave didn't do anything. So we had 7 plus the precise strike for another 3. To take down the Shadow Man, which gives us a little bit of inspiration. So we moved for free. We are now going to shoot again into here. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, 3 successes. Nice. We can make it 4. Three gets us 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Goodness. We are going to spin that for the additional 2 hits. So 1, 2, apply. All right. We actually did damage. Can it attack back? It doesn't have range, so we're going to say no. And then we're going to be tireless. At the end of your turn, you may discard the skill to perform an action that you have not performed this turn. And that's going to be the travel step, which only moves us 1 space. All right. Then Gimli will charge in and attack with his trusty axe. 1, 2, 3, 4. Man, getting through all that stuff is a problem. And drawing like that is not the best either. So we will spend 3, I think. What does Sunder do? Takes. So we'll get 8 hits. Spending 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. And apply. Confirm. Can it hit back? Unfortunately. Will this hurt? Definitely. All right, so that is asking us to use wit to defend with. But that lets us choose to go might instead, which is 4. One, two, three, 4. 1 success, 2 success. We're going to put the 2 successes on the fear. So we get 1 fear. One, two, three, 4. That might kill us. Poison, gain a weakness and shuffle it into your deck, then discard this card. Okay. Found arrogant. We'll shuffle that in there if that matters. Then we've got discard all your boons and flip this card face down. Flip this face down. And flip one of those face up, which is just flip it back down. Okay, so this is what we're looking at with Gimli. It's got 4 damage out of 6 and 1 fear out of 4. And then, at the end of your turn, we're going to discard this to remove 2. We'll get rid of those with our Poet's Heart. All right, and that's what we've got. So ending our action phase, into the shadow phase we go. Each hero gains an inspiration. Darkness step, no one's in darkness. Threat increases by 4. And now we rally. Reset and scout 2. Didn't see the attack step. Let's see, Nemesis. Ooh. We want both of these. But we're going to prep Immortality. Put the other on the bottom. And then Gimli. Two Restless Axes. At the start of your turn, you may discard the skill to attack and add 2 hits. Well, we'll prep one and put the other on top. And go to our action phase. We are going to start with Legolas. It's got a range of 2, so shooting in there. We've got 2 successes. We're going to spend for a third. And with that third, that gets us 7 hits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Do we spend our rest card to add 2 more hits in there? I think we do. I think we spend both of them. When you attack, discard to add 2 hits. We're putting them both in there. We're adding 4 more hits. 1, 2, 3, 4. Enemy cannot attack. Then we're going to take our second action, doing the same thing. Oh, no, we're not, because we don't have the range to do it. Wasn't thinking that one through. Guess we'll take an action to move up. Should have used the rest. That would have got rid of that. Probably messed up there. Oh well. Gimli. So this isn't an action. Start of our turn. Discard that to attack and add 2 hits. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll add a success in that. So we've got 2 successes plus 2 hits. So we can spend 2 successes for 6 hits. So it's going to equal 8 total hits. And apply. Enemy can attack back, unfortunately. That's probably going to kill us. Call yourself warriors. So spirit negates. We have a spirit of 4. If you suffer any fear from this, discard an inspiration. Jokes on the game, we don't have any. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 0 successes. Well, we'll start with the 3 fear first. And then 3 there. Because that's going to push us to a limit. Because we're going to have a total of 6. So starting with the fear, just gloom, flip it face down. Rage, keep this card face up. You cannot prevent damage, including negate. When you attack, add 2 hits. Interesting. Flip 1 wound face up, then flip this card face down. Flip it face down. All right. And then each nearby hero flips a fear face up, then flip this face down. And face down. Cursed injury. Keep this face up. If you would, discard a face up wound, flip it face down instead. But that is going to take us to a place we don't want to go. We don't have any inspiration to get rid of. Is that the button? Yes. Status, items, Gimli. Perform a last stand with him. Unfortunately, yep. Is this damage or fear? This is damage. Your wounds are severe, but perhaps you could still go on. We need to test our might. We need 1 to succeed. 1, 2, 3, 4. We passed. Discard all face down damage. Gain an inspiration and continue the adventure. So all face down. Gain an inspiration. Let me move this over so I can read it. Oh, same with that, I guess. If you would discard a face up. Oh, not face up. Those are all face down. Okay. Continuing. That can't be good. All right, he's got a second action. Does he attack again? Well, we see if we can kill ourselves. We will attack a second time. Only got 3 cards here, so we will shuffle. Because we're raging, we get to add 2 hits. All right, we can spend. So we've got 2 successes, which is 6 hits, plus we're raging for another 2 hits, so that's 8. Oops, wrong button, cancel. And apply, confirming 8 hits. Can it attack back? Sure can. Spirit negates. Let's see, after this attack, flip to Fear face up and move Ursa to the closest space without a hero. I'll go ahead and move now because I'll forget. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 success. So we are going to block the damage and take 4 here. First, suffer face down. Doesn't matter, we're going to be way past our limit. Then flip that face down. Paranoia, if there's a nearby hero, discard a prepped card. Sure. Clever Wit is now going. Delusions, discard an inspiration. We don't have any, then flip that face down. And Looming Shadows. If you're in a space with darkness, we are not. And then flip that. Okay. Then Ursa moved. And Gimli. Last stand. With fear. Need to test his wisdom. We need 2 successes. I don't see him making this. We did not make it. So we fail. You have fallen. Remove your figure from the map. At the start of the next shadow phase, you will fail this adventure. Well, that's about to happen. The blows of Ursa's hammer and the biting metal of the gathering forces prove to be too much. You flee to the safety of Dale, Ursa's bellowing laughter chasing your steps the whole way. When you are within sight of the gate, guards ride out to meet you. One of them looks at the gathering of foul creatures. Ursa poised at their front. The guard draws her sword, so the spirit no longer hides in the shadows. Dale is truly under attack. The heroes lose. Each hero gains 3 XP, and lore increases by 3. So it doesn't look like we're done. We get to go into Chapter 6 next, but that'll be it for this adventure. Gimli tried, he came in, definitely saved Legolas from going down, but then couldn't stop himself from going out. But as always, hope you enjoyed this playthrough. So please click on the like button below and be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.